gnomes live in a secret part of the world, away from prying eyes. Some people do not believe in gnomes because they have never seen them. But if you don't look carefully and wait patiently, you may never see a deer in the forest. It's the same with gnomes. You may not see them, but they are there. David is no ordinary gnome. He has magic powers and knows all about special plants to help those who are sick or in trouble. He is often called upon to help others, usually to save them from the wicked trolls, who are only happy when they are causing trouble. Swift the fox is a faithful friend to the gnomes. He carries David and his wife Lisa all over the world to find rare plants, or simply to take them where they are needed. This story is called The Ghost of Black Lake Castle. Whenever you hear this sound, turn the page over. One day, David was called to the palace because the king of the gnomes needed his help. He rubbed noses with the king when they met. Then the king explained, "Those wicked trolls have stolen all our gold and hidden it near Black Lake. I want you to get the gold back, but the only way to the lake is through Black Lake Castle." Black Lake Castle. The word sent a shiver down David's spine. The castle was haunted by a ghost who could transform himself into anything he liked. But David wouldn't dream of refusing to help the king. "Leave it to me," he said at once, and he was soon riding through the countryside on the back of his faithful friend, Swift. At last they saw the castle towering high above them. In front was a deep canyon. David didn't think they would ever get across. "Hold on to your hat," cried Swift, and leapt forward with a mighty bound. David breathed a sigh of relief as they landed safely on the other side. The huge doors of the castle creaked open, and they tiptoed inside. "Hello? Anyone at home?" asked David in a trembling voice. There was a strange noise. The floor started to shake. Someone or something was coming down the stone stairway towards them. David stared in amazement. It was a gnome exactly like himself. But you look like me," he stuttered. "I am you and me," sang the gnome, dancing around him. "Please, stop playing about," cried David crossly. "Be serious." "What, like this?" shouted the gnome, and he spun round and round until he turned into a fox. "One fox is quite enough, thank you," said David. "We wish to speak to the owner of this castle," he added sternly. Quick as a flash, the fox turned into a clown and tapped David on the shoulder. Then the clown vanished in a flash of light, and a huge giant appeared. "I am the owner of Black Lake Castle," he roared. But before David could speak, there was a puff of smoke, and the giant became a ferocious monster. Please, may we go to Black Lake? Asked David. The monster just roared with laughter, then turned back into a giant. You may go to Black Lake, he snarled. But watch out for the trolls. When the music ends, turn the cassette over. That ghost certainly knows how to scare people, said Swift as they left the castle. When they reached the lake, they hid behind a clump of bushes. From there, they could see a cave. In front of the cave, 3 trolls were gathered round a fire, cooking something in a huge cauldron and squabbling loudly, as usual. David took a catapult from his bag and fired a stone into the cave. The stone made a loud echoing sound, and the trolls jumped up and ran inside to see what had made the noise. This was David's chance. He ran up to the cave and sprinkled a little celery dust all around. That will spoil the trolls' sense of smell, and they won't know I've been here, he thought. Trolls have a very good sense of smell. Now for some sleeping powder in the trolls' dinner. He added the powder to the cauldron, which was full of horrible-looking soup. As he was about to return to his hiding place, David noticed a rope stretching from the cave into the lake. Aha, he thought. I expect that rope is tied to the gold. David hurried back to Swift. I think the gold is in the lake, he whispered. They watched from the bushes as the trolls came out of the cave and ate the soup. The sleeping powder worked, and it wasn't long before the trolls were snoring noisily. Now's our chance, cried David, climbing onto Swift's back. Swift swam out into the lake. David had a special stick that bleeped whenever it was near gold, and suddenly it bleeped very loudly. At that moment, 2 fish popped up. The gold is in a large sack, they told David. David called to his friend the otter. I would like you to bite through the rope that is tied to the bag of gold at the bottom of the lake and fasten the end of the rope round a rock, David explained. Then take this other rope, tie one end to the gold and bring the other end to me." In no time at all, the otter did as he was asked. David hid his end of the rope in the ground. "Now we know where the gold is, we can come and fetch it any time we like," laughed David. "But we must get away before the trolls wake up." Meanwhile, the trolls' leader, Holler, had arrived at the cave. He was angry when he saw the trolls fast asleep.
"Wake up, you fools!" he screamed. "You're supposed to be guarding the gold!"
The trolls sat up sleepily, rubbing their eyes.
"The gnomes are after our gold!"
shouted Holler.
"Take it out of the lake and hide it in the cave!"
The trolls heaved on the rope, then stared when they saw a rock instead of the gold. They couldn't believe their eyes.
"Fools! Idiots!"
screeched Holler.
"This is gnomes' work! Come on, we've got to get the gold back! After them!"
By this time, David and Swift were nearly at Black Lake Castle. The trolls raced after them. They reached the castle just as Swift jumped up to the battlements. The trolls followed close behind, shouting and yelling at the tops of their voices. Disturbed by all the commotion, the ghost appeared as a giant on the battlements.
"This is my castle,"
he roared.
"Go away!"
And with one wave of his arm, he swept the trolls down into the canyon. Swift and David leapt to safety and raced off to the palace. The king rubbed noses with David to show how happy he was to see him.
"But where is the gold?"
he asked. "Where the trolls will never think of looking, in their very own hiding place," replied David. "We can get it whenever we want to." And they laughed and laughed until the tears ran down their rosy cheeks.